In terms of Everton, they've announced that Christopher Seraphim and Jason Kidd have joined the ownership group there, Roundhouse at Everton. Could that help the club's operations and spending power moving forward?
I suspect it won't make much difference because I think they were already well capitalised in Roundhouse. So whether it's the money coming from X or Y is probably neither here nor there. Um, it's probably more for the Freakins in terms of just spreading their risk more than more than it giving the club additional firepower.
Mm. In Seraphin's believed to have contacts, and his family manages a £23 billion portfolio. Could they potentially tap into some more contacts as they look to secure commercial deals? Could it have an impact in that kind of thing as well?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think part of it is about network with some of these owners. They end up being kind of club family office club deals where they all chip in and they all leverage their network and to open doors. That's I think that would be part of the game plan. But the reality is we know that most of the commercial deals are not going to come from the US
Mm.
for Everton. They're going to come from the same place they've always come from in the English game, which is large brands, international brands. Unfortunately, betting, and I say unfortunately because we know there's going to be changes to the betting situation, which is going to leave a big hole with a lot of these clubs. And so it could be useful around the edges, but in terms of a very major deal, I think betting Far East, not Far Middle East. It's not a surprise if you look at who's on the front of the Roma shirts, it's Saudi. You look at, if you look generally at the Premier League and you look at the major European clubs, Emirates, how many they've got, Etihad, Qatar Airways. So there's not. I think commercially and sponsorship wise, the game has a bit of an issue at the moment. The big barometer will be Chelsea, as we know, on that front of shirt if they finally get a new partner. Remember, they used to have three, and Samsung. We haven't seen a deal like that. Manchester United is probably the most sought after front of shirt in the Premier League, and so we've seen Snapdragon, but even they had to take a period of TeamViewer, which was a pretty small brand. Liverpool haven't changed for years. Arsenal haven't changed for years. So there is a lack of very major brands coming into Premier League football front of shirt. And when I talk about front of shirt, it's only because it's the major commercial property.
Mm.
So I don't know. It's one to watch.